This is Sparta! This is where we hold them! This is where they die!
The movie begins with the Persian king Darius, who sent a massive army by ships to attack Greece at the plains of Marathon. At this moment, a little-known Athenian soldier named Themistocles leads the Greek forces. Even though they are outnumbered 3-1, he plans a surprise attack just as the Persian soldiers begin unloading from their ships.
A moment appeared. A moment that would ring across the centuries. It was Darius' son Xerxes, whose eyes had the stink of destiny about them.
As Darius lies on his deathbed, he calls upon his most trusted naval commander, Artemisia. He considers her stronger and wiser than Xerxes. In his final moments, Darius advises his son not to repeat his mistake and not to wage war against Greece. He says that only a god can defeat Greece. Just then, Artemisia removes the arrow from his chest, ending his life. Artemisia, craving revenge, twists Darius's words. She tells Xerxes that his father meant he must become a god to conquer Greece. She calls mystics and sorcerers from across the empire, who wrap Xerxes in Sumerian gauze and send him into the desert. He finds a hermit's cave and walks past the dark spirits. He fully surrenders himself to the forces of evil. When Xerxes returns, he has changed completely. His eyes burn like coals, and his body is flawless. Before he returns to the palace, Artemisia kills all those who raised him. She does not trust anyone and wants to make sure that Xerxes cannot be manipulated. Now, believing he is a god, Xerxes declares war on Greece.
For glory's sake, for vengeance' sake, war!
War is coming to Greece.
At a meeting in Athens, some leaders suggest surrender, but Themistocles urges them to fight for their freedom and warns that surrender would be a terrible mistake.
We must negotiate! Negotiate with tyranny. Xerxes, the son of Darius, is a wolf at our door. Not even Sparta can match the Persians alone. We must persevere as one nation.
He will need our children to join the fight. And what of Sparta?
I will go and seek the help.
Still no word from the messenger you sent to Sparta.
Perhaps I need to march into Sparta myself and burn it to the ground. They would be fools to resist my divine power. Once these waters have been traversed, I will lead my force across the land.
Meanwhile, Xerxes sends a messenger to Leonidas. While training his son, Leonidas is informed of the visitor. Along with Queen Gorgo, he goes to meet the Persian messenger, who arrives with Councilman Theron.
Before you speak, Persian, know that in Sparta, everyone, even a king's messenger, is held accountable.
If you value your lives over your complete annihilation, listen carefully, Leonidas. All the god King Xerxes requires, a token of Sparta's submission.
Now, that's a bit of a problem.
We must be diplomatic.
And of course, Spartans!
Choose your next words carefully, Leonidas. They may be your last as king.
Madman. You're a madman. No man threatens a messenger.
You threaten my people with slavery and death.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
This is Sparta!
Leonidas climbs a tall rocky cliff to meet the Ephors, who are diseased old creatures serving as priests. According to Spartan law, even the king cannot go to war without their approval, as they provide the blessings of the old gods. However, before consulting them, Leonidas has to offer gold. The Ephors advise him not to go to war because the ancient festival of Carnea is approaching, and it would be considered disrespectful not to celebrate it.
Into the mountain pass we call the Hot Gates. Persian attack will smash against Spartan shields.
Your blasphemies have cost us quite enough.
Sparta will burn! Women and children will be slaves or worse!
Consult The Oracle?
The Oracle is usually the most beautiful girl born in Sparta, cursed to spend the rest of her life with the Ephors, who exploit her for both spiritual consultation and their personal desires. The Ephors use mystic arts to reach the Oracle, who then declares that if Sparta attacks, it will fall along with the rest of Greece. She also commands that the gods and the Carnea must be respected. Leonidas leaves angrily after hearing this. Themistocles arrives in Sparta and meets Queen Gorgo. She informs him about the incident with the Persian emissary and tells him that it was unwise to threaten the Spartans, who are the world's greatest fighters, and whose king would gladly lay down his life to protect his men. She says that Sparta plans to defend against the Persian army, and that the Carnea is the only thing standing in the way. Upon hearing this, Themistocles offers her the idea of lending Spartan ships to join the united Greek army. However, Gorgo is not interested in his vision and rejects it, saying she only cares about the preservation of Sparta.
This is the birthplace of the world's greatest warriors. Xerxes' messenger did not understand this is no typical Greek city-state. Even now, Leonidas is in council with the Oracle over his battle plan.
I'm commanding a fleet of ships that will represent a united Greece. I need Sparta to join me.
We are not interested in a united Greece. That is your dream, Themistocles, not ours.
It's funny that you mock freedom here in your selfish isolation. My queen.
Apparently the Persians have offered the Spartans something they cannot refuse.
And what is that?
A beautiful death.
The next day, Leonidas selects 300 of his finest soldiers to accompany him north.
We are with you, sire! For Sparta, to the death!
He is your son.
I have others to replace him. Astynos is as brave and ready as any.
My good king, the Oracle has spoken.
I'm here, just taking a stroll. These 300 men are my personal bodyguard.
Move out! Move out!
Sparta will need sons.
Spartan!
Yes, milady.
Come back with your shield, or on it.
Yes, milady.
There's no room for softness. Not in Sparta. We march for our lands, for our families, for our freedom.
Ephors were actually bribed by the Persians with the help of Councilman Theron, who is a hidden traitor. This is the real reason why they did not approve of going to war. On their way, the Spartans encounter the Arcadians, led by Daxos. The Arcadians heard of the Spartan march and came to join, but are surprised and disappointed to see such a small army. Leonidas then points out that while the Arcadians are skilled workers who became soldiers, the Spartans have trained for battle all their lives.
Spartans! What is your profession?
As the army continues, they notice a strange creature wearing Spartan armor and carrying a shield secretly following them. However, their attention shifts when they come across a village destroyed by the Persians. Leonidas suspects it was done by a scouting party. A large shadow suddenly appears behind them, but it turns out to be a young girl from the village. She weakly walks up to Leonidas and tells him that they were attacked by dark, immortal Persian beings with deadly fangs who killed everyone but her. Afterward, they find a tree decorated with the bodies of the villagers. This sight terrifies the soldiers.
Immortals. We'll put their name to the test.
On the other hand, Artemisia is heading toward the shores of Greece with a massive fleet of 10,000 ships. Along the way, she orders one of the bravest prisoners from the Greek army to be brought before her. When the prisoner is presented, he boldly insults her to her face. He claims he knows she is of Greek origin. Artemisia confirms the rumor, but says her loyalty lies with Persia. Saying this, she cuts off his head with her knife and throws it into the sea. Then, a messenger informs her that a Spartan army of 300 men is marching to fight the Persians. Noticing one of her crew members acting suspiciously, she questions him about the fate of the Spartan army.
I know every single man beneath my lash. Can you explain to me how I don't know you?
Storm is upon us.
It's just some mad Greek weather.
He and his son Callisto go to meet Themistocles. Silius shares his spy report about the Persian navy and tells him about Artemisia, who is leading it. She was born in Greece, but when she was young, her entire family was killed by a group of Greek hoplites, and her mother was abused in front of her. After that, she was taken captive on a ship, where she suffered more abuse for a long time. Eventually, when she was weak and near death, she was thrown out onto the streets. There, a Persian emissary found her and took her in. From that day on, she vowed to return to Greece only to see it burn. Fueled by vengeance, she was trained by one of Persia's best warriors. She became so skilled with her sword that she could overpower them all. Over time, she achieved many victories and soon became a favorite of King Darius. Silius then tells Themistocles that the ground forces are ready for defense. Callisto also wants to join the fight, but his father doesn't allow him. Later, Themistocles finds that Callisto has joined the navy anyway and brought his grandfather's shield and sword with him. Since most of the soldiers are common people with little training, evening, Themistocles allows Callisto to stay and tells him to join him on his ship. The Greek navy is small, with only 50 ships, much fewer and smaller than the Persian ones. But Themistocles believes this could work in their favor, as they can move faster. He learns about the Spartan army moving to the Hot Gates and decides to attack the Persian navy the next day in deeper waters. As dawn breaks, they set sail into stormy waters, preparing to launch the attack. Seeing this, Artemisia asks for a commander who can lead the first strike and bring her victory. General Bandari volunteers and gives his word and life for it. She orders him to destroy the entire Greek fleet.
Steady your heart, for your mettle is to be tested this day. You need only to look at the man who fights at your side. This is the Brotherhood of Men-at-Arms, for there is no nobler cause than to fight for those who will lay down their life for you. Most of all, you fight for Greece! Attack! Go through them!
We are losing.
No, you are losing. I'm bored with your failures, Bandari.
But you must understand.
To get an accurate attack!
This Themistocles has shown himself to be quite brilliant in battle.
Leonidas and his army soon reach the Hot Gates, where they witness Persian ships heading toward the shore. That night, a violent storm strikes.
Zeus stabs the sky with thunderbolts. Only one among us keeps his Spartan reserve. Only our king.
Many ships sink, but the next morning, they spot a massive Persian army assembling at the shore, making it clear that what they saw last night was only a small part of the enemy forces. Back in Sparta, Queen Gorgo secretly meets with a loyalist councilman under the cover of night. She is aware that Theron is conspiring against Leonidas. The councilman tells her that if she shows some favor to the council, they will support her in sending the Spartan army to help Leonidas. He offers to arrange a chance for her to speak before the council to convince them. Gorgo thanks him for his help. At the Hot Gates, the Spartan soldiers are building a stone wall to funnel the Persian armies into the narrow mountain pass. Just then, a Persian emissary arrives, carried by slaves. He boldly demands to speak with the commander and mocks the wall they are building. But then, he notices the bodies of Persian soldiers used between the stones.
Your Persian scouts supplied the mortar.
By noon this day, you will be dead men. Our arrows will blot out the sun.
Then we will fight in the shade.
Just then, the deformed man who's been following them, Ephialtes, appears and tells them that there is indeed a secret path through the mountain. Artemis threatens him. Ephialtes then begs to join the fight, saying he is also a Spartan, though his family fled the city because he would have been discarded due to his deformity. He explains that his father trained him to fight like a Spartan. However, Leonidas tells him that to fight as one, a soldier must be able to protect the man next to him with his shield, and due to his body, Ephialtes cannot do that. Instead, Leonidas offers him the task of delivering water and tending to the wounded. Hurt and angry, Ephialtes throws down his shield and screams that his parents were wrong, and Leonidas is wrong too.
Earthquake.
Battle formations. This is where we hold them! This is where they die!
Spartans! Lay down your weapons!
Take from them everything!
That's the best you can do!
No mercy!
Fight in the shade!
Today, no Spartan dies.
Soon after, King Xerxes himself arrives to meet Leonidas. Leonidas walks forward alone to confront him without fear. He mocks Xerxes for the way his soldiers have fallen, but Xerxes remains calm, willing to sacrifice as many men as needed to win. He offers Leonidas the position of his warlord over all of Greece, promising that he would defeat rival nations and even lead an assault on Europe if only he would kneel. Leonidas finds the offer tempting, but still refuses to bow before him.
Slaughtering all those men of yours has left a nasty cramp in my leg.
Every piece of Greek parchment shall be burned. Every Greek historian. The world will never know you existed at all.
The world will know that before this battle was over, that even a god king can bleed.
Leonidas returns to his men and orders them to prepare for a major battle that night. They cover the stone wall with the bodies of fallen Persian soldiers. On the other side, with the dawn of a new day, Themistocles and his army prepare to face the second wave of attack led by General Kashani. As the Persian ships catch sight of them, they begin to move forward. The slaves rowing the ships have bloody hands, whip marks on their backs, and are clearly exhausted. But before the Persians can reach them, Themistocles orders his navy to retreat into a thick mist. General Kashani commands the fleet to keep moving forward. However, he is unknowingly walking into a trap, something that Artemisia begins to sense. Soon, the Persian ships regain visibility as the mist clears, only to realize they are heading straight toward rocky shores and a dam built between two cliffs. But it is already too late to stop. The ships begin crashing against the rocks, breaking apart one by one.
Brace yourselves!
What are you doing here?
A man's responsibility is to protect his family and his nation.
Why is it so much to ask for victory?
How can I make amends?
Silence.
She instructs her assistant, General Artaphernes, to deliver a message to him. A short while later, Artaphernes sails over to the Greek side on a small boat and delivers Artemisia's message that she wants to meet Themistocles. When asked why she should be trusted not to kill Themistocles, he replies that the only honor left for her is to destroy the Greek fleet and hang Themistocles' body on the mast of her ship. After hearing this, Themistocles decides to go with him. Upon reaching Artemisia's ship, she greets him while dressed in seductive clothes. She asks if he is a descendant of the Greek gods, since her soldiers have begun to believe that after witnessing his courage in the last two battles. Themistocles, however, is unsure about that. She leads him into her chambers and tells him that her navy is vast enough to keep fighting for months, despite suffering losses. Yet now, she is deeply impressed by his skill and confidence. She says that perhaps the blood of Poseidon runs in his veins, and she offers him a place by her side to fight with her instead of against her. Themistocles replies that his loyalty lies only with the Greek fleet. Hearing this, Artemisia asks if there is anyone he loves whom he is fighting for. He tells her that he never had a family and that his entire life has been in preparation to face her. She steps closer and tries to seduce him, saying it excites her to know he has been waiting so long for this moment. She offers him one more chance to join her, promising a life free of responsibility or consequences. Her seduction stirs Themistocles, and he finally gives in. They begin kissing, and their passion escalates into rough intimacy. Soon after, Themistocles returns to his fleet and warns them that the Persian navy will now attack with full force. As night falls, the immortals, Xerxes' personal guards who have given up their souls to darkness, march forward. Their eyes are black, their faces deformed, and their teeth sharpened into fangs. These warriors have served the Persian kings for thousands of years. As they reach the hot gates, they find no one in sight.
Immortals, we put their name to the test.
What we can do!
We shout and curse, stabbing wildly. Brave amateurs, they do their part. Immortals. They fail our king's test.
Witnessing this loss, even Xerxes, who sees himself as a god, feels a very human chill run down his spine. The wave of immortals is defeated, and the Spartans celebrate their hard-earned victory, now feeling more hopeful that they can win, even against impossible odds. Xerxes now attempts new tactics by sending monstrous animals into battle. First comes a rhinoceros charging at the Spartans, but they hold their ground and bring it down with a single spear throw.
When muscle failed, they turned to their magic. And numbers count for nothing. We send the severed bodies and the fragile hearts back to Xerxes' feet. But they're clumsy beasts.
My son! No!
Day wears on. We lose few. The captain breaks rank. He goes wild, blood drunk. Captain's cries of pain at the loss of his son are more frightening to the enemy than the deepest battle drums.
Ephialtes arrives at the Persian camp. Xerxes offers him gold, women, and high status, presenting himself as a merciful god. He asks for the secret passage through the mountains that could give the Persians the upper hand. Tempted by greed and recognition, Ephialtes agrees and kneels before Xerxes. Back in Sparta, Queen Gorgo meets Theron at night and pleads with him to convince the council to send Spartan reinforcements to help Leonidas. But Theron is uninterested. Gorgo accuses him of exploiting the situation for his own gain, which enrages him. He grabs her by the neck and threatens her, saying that men will always have their needs, no matter what happens around them. He demands to know what she will offer in return for his support. Understanding his intentions, Gorgo undresses in silence. As she turns her back, Theron coldly warns her that it will not end quickly, and she will not enjoy it. That same night, Daxos brings grave news to Leonidas. The Persians have learned about the hidden mountain passage and are heading toward it. Daxos urges retreat, but Leonidas refuses.
By morning, the immortals will surround us. The hot gates will fall. There is no glory to be had now. Only retreat or surrender.
Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender.
My men will leave with me.
He then addresses his soldiers, telling them that the end they have long prepared for is finally near. Afterward, speaks privately with Dilios, who has suffered an eye injury in the recent battles. He tells him to return to Sparta and share their story with the world. Though Dilios does not want to leave, Leonidas convinces him that someone must live to carry their legacy. When Dilios asks if he wants to send a message to his wife, Leonidas silently hands over the necklace she had given him earlier. Without speaking a word, he says his farewell. With a heavy heart, Dilios and the Arcadian troops head back.
Spartans, for tonight, we dine in hell!
Queen Gorgo appears before the council and delivers a powerful speech. Urging the councilmen to send reinforcements, she reminds them that he has sacrificed everything to protect their homeland, and now it is their duty to act. Just as she finishes, Councilman Theron stands and begins to clap mockingly.
This chamber needs no history lesson, my queen.
Then what is the lesson you would like to leave?
You speak of honor? But what of adultery?
How dare you?
Just hours ago, you offered yourself to me. Did you not receive a similar payment? Which you took? The very bed where you attempted to negotiate with me so vigorously.
You will not enjoy this.
That same morning, Leonidas and his remaining soldiers prepare for their final stand. They form a tight phalanx, shields raised, as Xerxes and his vast army approach. Archers position themselves on the cliffs above, and Xerxes arrives seated on his throne, flanked by the immortals, his personal guards. Leonidas steps forward to confront them. A Persian envoy announces that the Spartans have already lost, but Xerxes is willing to show mercy. If they kneel, they will be allowed to keep their lands. Hearing this, Leonidas slowly removes his helmet and drops his heavy shield.
If you but lay down your arms and kneel to holy Xerxes.
The seaborne breeze coolly kissing the sweat at his chest and the steady breathing of the 300 at his back, ready to die. His helmet is stifling. His shield is heavy.
Ephialtes, may he live forever.
Stelios! Blood of them!
His target is far away. His roar is long and loud.
My king, it's an honor to die at your side.
My queen!
My wife. My love.
Dilios returns to Sparta and hands Gorgo the necklace. He begins to recount the heroic story of the brave 300, inspiring all who hear it.
Let my army witness the great warriors of Sparta. There will be no saviors to rise up and vanquish us. Take this dead king's sword to Athens. Let them know that I am coming next for them.
The Greek navy prepares for a third and decisive battle. As enemy ships approach, they attempt to ram the Greek vessels from both sides. However, this time, a heavily armored lead ship takes the front and withstands the impact. It begins pouring black oil into the sea. Seeing this, Themistocles orders his men to fall back. At the same time, Artemisia commands her personal guards to swim toward the Greek fleet with bags of flammable material strapped to their backs. Themistocles tells his archers to shoot them down. The sea around them is stained red with blood, and the weight of their loss bears heavily on his shoulders. In that moment, he finds Silius taking his final breaths. Grateful for the fight, Silius tells Themistocles it was an honor to stand beside him. He urges his son to continue what he started, then whispers something in Themistocles' ear before passing away. Wanting to know his father's final words, asks what he said, but Themistocles replies that he will share them when the time is right. Meanwhile, Aeschylus approaches Themistocles and tells him that innocent lives are being lost because of his choices. Themistocles silently accepts the weight of the chaos on his shoulders. Despite the pain, he remains resolved to keep fighting until the very end.
I bring word from Thermopylae. Leonidas was betrayed by a hunchback. The Spartans have been slaughtered.
Now Greece has her martyrs. Sparta's sacrifice will be what unites us. I will take Daxos' message to Athens.
He encounters Ephialtes and immediately recognizes him as the traitor responsible for Leonidas' death. Holding the noble sword of Leonidas, Themistocles threatens to kill him. Ephialtes admits he deserves it, but warns that they should fear the god king who is coming for them. Themistocles replies that there is nothing to fear now. Greece must unite, gather every ship, and face the enemy together. He then tells Ephialtes to deliver a message to Xerxes that they will meet him in the Bay of Salamis. Afterwards, Themistocles travels to Sparta, where Queen Gorgo mourns the loss of her husband. He offers her Leonidas' sword and expresses his condolences, but she has grown colder in her grief and asks him directly why he is there. Themistocles requests the aid of Spartan ships to join the final fight. However, Gorgo responds that Sparta has already given all it could for Greece and has nothing more to offer. Hearing this, Themistocles leaves, saying only that he hopes she finds her vengeance soon. Following this, Xerxes and his army destroy Athens, fulfilling the oracle's prophecy.
The Greeks were fools to stand against us. Themistocles was a worthless coward.
Your humble servant brings you news. Themistocles.
Themistocles is dead.
I have seen him myself.
Wisdom!
You would dare to advise me in matters of war.
I am your king.
Killing Leonidas and his men only made them martyrs.
Artemisia.
Do not forget who put the crown on your childish head.
Themistocles prepares his army for the final assault. He admits that he had hoped Sparta would help them, but that hope has failed. His men blame him for the situation. Themistocles accepts their anger and tells them that they are right. If they want to leave, they can, as they are still free men. But he chooses to stay and defend his motherland. Upon hearing this, no one leaves. Encouraged, he tells them to get ready for their final stand with just a handful of ships, but with their freedom and honor still intact. Soon after, they sail toward the Bay of Salamis. On the way, Themistocles tells Callisto the final words of his father. He said that his son has now earned the right to sit at the table of combat veterans. Moments later, they spot the enormous Persian fleet ahead. Themistocles tells Aeschylus that he has no more tricks left and this might be their last battle together. But he is determined to kill Artemisia, as she is the one holding the Persian navy together. Following this, the Greeks launch a full-force assault on the Persian fleet. As their ships collide, the soldiers climb aboard enemy vessels and begin fighting.
Your father watches you! Seize your glory!
I'm not here as a witness! Are you accepting my offer?
My answer is still no.
Surrender to me.
I would rather die a free man than as a slave, even if the chain was attached to you. All of Greece has united against you, and Sparta.
If death comes for me today, I'm ready.
It would be a poor choice to force my hand into action.
From a distance, Xerxes watches his mighty fleet being destroyed, surrounded from all sides by the united Greek forces. A year later, the scene shifts to the barren lands of Plataea. There, Dilios narrates the story of the brave 300. Their sacrifice inspired the Greek men to rise together. Now, 10,000 Spartans and 30,000 free Greeks stand ready against the Persian army, who outnumber them 3-1.
Give thanks, man! To Leonidas and the brave 300!
I hope you guys enjoyed the recap, and if you did, then be sure to check out other awesome recaps on the channel, and as always, thank you very much for watching.